came to this country in 1967 from the Rhineland of Germany. I had a bleeding ulcer that was very bad. I had acid reflux, real bad with it, to the point that I slept up on my pillow instead of down, so my head was always elevated. And after 2 weeks, I no longer had acid reflux. It was wonderful, actually.
I'm 83 years old and I have Parkinson's for 7 years. And I take now Mangosteen Juice for 4 years. I have no shakes or nothing. I had twice the stroke, paralyzed. I feel stronger. My inside, everything straight now.
I'm Dr. Ann Hill, naturopathy doctor. I retired in 2007 and began taking the Mangosteen juice. In January of 2008, I went for my checkup. My sugars were down to normal. I'm diabetic. My eyes were bifocal, trifocal. When I was working, they were back down to 20/20 at that point.
One of the great blessings was I am absent of that dementia that I used to have. I have a clarity of thinking that I haven't enjoyed for a long time.
I think it was in 2007 that I was diagnosed with liver cancer. Family doctor sent me to an oncologist. When I went back in 6 weeks, my doctor couldn't believe there were no cancer cells.
As a doctor, I get asked frequently about mangosteen juice, and people wonder, does it really do what they say? And what are they talking about with all this free radical stuff? I mean, what's it all about? And you know, it occurred to me that we could show you. I mean, we could actually demonstrate to you the free radical damage process, and we can show you how it happens and is going on in your body right now if you're not getting enough of the nutrients you need to prevent it. And we're going to share with you how that happens. We're going to let you see it happen. And then we're going to show you how we use mangosteen juice to stop the damage process, which in all practicality stops the pain and the inflammatory diseases that are a part of being deficient in these types of nutrients. And so pay close attention, because this is really going to hit home for many of you. So now as you watch the blood and we add the oxidizing agent, it foams up. There's damage happening to the red blood cells and the other nutrient components that are in that blood. And you see that it becomes inflamed and swollen. And the damage that's happening is the same thing that we see when I put blood on a slide and we allow it to dry. So let's take a look. And I'm going to put this in here and we'll go through and set it up. We'll get a nice focus here. And by doing that, I'm able to see what is happening after the blood is dry, because when it dries and there's oxidative damage, it shows a lot of white areas similar to the white that you saw as the blood was changing. This picture represents free radical damage, oxidative damage, if you will, that happens in the blood, the kind of damage that you just witnessed as you watched the blood foam up. Imagine having that coursing through your veins, because that's what happens. Oxidative stress from free radicals steal electrons. They steal parts from other atoms and molecules in your body, which makes those things out of balance, and that triggers a lot of pain. So a person who drinks mangosteen every day will have healthy blood. But now I know you've never seen this. So we've got 2 pieces of chicken here. One is protected, been marinated in mangosteen juice. We use the whole fruit because that provides all the nutrients that God put there for the benefit of our body. And so we marinated the chicken leg in there, and the other chicken leg on the left isn't protected. It's just the way you get it from the store. Now we're going to add an oxidative agent to both of them. And you'll be able to see the damage that takes place there. But now as you're watching, remember that that damage happening on the skin of that chicken leg is essentially the same as the damage that goes on in your digestive tract or in your arteries, and for some people in the lungs. Notice on the left that the skin blisters up. It looks white a little bit to you, and that's inflammation. White is inflammation. On the right, nothing happened. And that's because antioxidants are able to prevent the damage, stop the damage process. And the one that we know of that's the strongest one in nature comes from mangosteen fruit. And it's processed into a juice that's very tasty, and it does a great job at preventing the damage that you've witnessed, because as you look to the right on the other chicken leg that was treated with mangosteen juice, you still don't see any damage. So now we've got a couple pieces of beef cube steak. We've separated them, and what we're going to show you now is what happens in the muscles of your body. So as you look at these two pieces of beef, we're going to treat those the same as we did the chicken. On the right are drops of mangosteen juice, providing xanthones and antioxidants as a protection. On the left, we don't treat it with anything other than the oxidizing agent. And of course, on the right, as you're watching, no damage takes place. On the left, you're seeing all that white stuff forming. That's free radical oxidative damage, and it's spreading throughout the whole piece of meat that's there. And you'll see, as you watch, how that becomes a disintegrated mass. Now, if you can imagine, that spreads throughout the muscle area, and it will spread right out into your joints, and by that time, of course, it's in your blood. So now as you watch these last pictures and you're reminded of the damage and inflammation that we've demonstrated, think about the fact that your body could be protected. Your inflammation can be stopped. You can get healthy. Mangosteen works.
Well, welcome. It's an opportunity for us to sit back and hear some of the Q&A, that question and answers that you might have had in the back of your head, maybe even been asked, but things that, you know, that we get asked a lot of times, and I think it's important that we understand some of those answers, and maybe you could deliver those, but this is a way to be right in front of you and just give you some of those answers, maybe those things that are at the top of your head. So I'm going to start right off with Dr. Jerry, and you can fill in giving us the answers on this. I've got the questions, you got the answers, right? Here's one for you. Why haven't I seen any change? I've been taking this product for about, off and on 2 or 3, 4 months, but you're a professional opinion as to why I'm not seeing anything. I'm not experiencing anything with it. What should I look for?
Some people don't notice anything even after a few months, and that's sometimes because they're not treating something that hurts, like arthritis, or they don't have allergies or asthma, and so they're not getting rid of an inflammatory problem that they would notice a change in symptoms. And so they may not notice anything, but rest assured there are good things happening in your body. It's things that you may not even think about in terms of your health improvement.
And the other follow-up question to that is, why don't I see any change? I mean, I've been drinking this stuff for a week or two, and I still don't see anything. So what can you add to that? Generally speaking, your health will improve on the inside in many ways that you don't notice. Cholesterol may come down, which isn't something you would feel. You may notice that there have been changes because you forgot what symptoms were. I know from experience that when you don't think about your arthritis, because it's not there anymore, you tend to forget that you had arthritis. Or headaches. I know people who've had serious headaches who take mangosteen juice and the headaches were gone. Well, that's something they remember if somebody will ask them, but after 2 or 3 months and they haven't had a headache, maybe it doesn't occur to them that they used to have that symptom.
and other kinds of symptoms related to allergies or indigestion or whatever, you know. Changes happen and you forget they've even existed. So many times often it's not that you don't notice a change, it's just you forgot that it happened. It was so subtle.
Okay, here's a question that comes up a lot. Can I just then stop taking all my other supplements? I have my vitamins and things like that.
Mangosteen or whole fruit mangosteen juice is not a complete supplement. It doesn't provide everything you need, and sometimes in sufficient quantities that your body would heal from anything and everything. It is a superfood in that sense, but it's not everything you need, because we need protein, we need also essential fatty acids, and so you're not getting sufficient amounts of that, I don't believe, from the whole food mangosteen that would allow you to just dismantle all of your supplement regimen and cast it aside. When we talk about the use of this juice, we're talking about helping your body recover from very specific kinds of things in fighting especially free radical damage and the inflammatory response that happens within the body that triggers a lot of the kinds of things that we call inflammatory diseases.
Here's a question I hear a lot. And in fact, it's one of the experiences that I have enjoyed immensely from this product. I used to have hay fever pretty badly through the summer. And since I've been on the mangosteen, there has been absolutely no problem with the allergies. So what is the overall opinion or effect of this on allergies?
And I understand that one, because when I was a youngster, I had allergies so bad if I mowed the lawn, which I had to frequently because I was the young kid in the family, I got to mow the lawn every week. And I was the one that suffered from allergies to the grass, and it would take me 3 days to recover from mowing the lawn, and then I was ready to go mow it again in another week. And so I understand allergies, and it is an inflammatory response. The body produces many of the leukotrienes and different components that cause inflammation and cause your eyes to run and your nose to run, and everything is just inflamed in your sinuses, and even for those who have issues with breathing. This juice carries a lot of antioxidant components that help prevent that process from happening and help change it so that it doesn't have to happen. And so in allergies, whether it's to food or to components in the air or the grass that I used to mow, you can be assured that this will be helpful, and to at least limit in some ways the body's response that would make you uncomfortable.
Okay, Dr. Jerry, how are the age levels affected with this product? Is it my grandchildren and my children, can they take that, or how does that work for us?
I read something the other day that was interesting. You ask if your children or what young age can use this product, and I have to say that I read something the other day that surprised me, and there are actually on record now 6-month-old babies, infants, that are clinically obese. And that's sad. That shouldn't happen. That's a part of an inflammatory issue that's going on within the body, and I would think that getting mangosteen would be helpful for them. It certainly is helpful for all ages, even when you think, well, it's too late, I don't want to bother. You know, I'm beyond help. We're never too old to change to something healthy, and our body never seems to be at a point where it doesn't provide some type of relief when you give the things that it needs so that it can set up the healing process, if you will. And so a young age or an old age, I haven't heard of any situation where you couldn't gain some benefit by using this whole food mangosteen juice.
What kind of scientific evidence, medical evidence, do we have and proof that this does do some of the miraculous things that you're saying that it's touted to do?
There are a lot of doctors at Mayo Clinic and other places who recommend frequently the use of whole food mangosteen juice. Doctors all across the country, in fact around the world, recommend this product on many different levels, and I think that the proof is there. It's been used for centuries in some cultures just as part of their normal use of medicine, and certainly in place of pharmaceuticals. And so there's plenty of proof. Do a search online, you'll find a lot of proof, a lot of testimonials and other proofs.
Are there any side effects? You know, you see these commercials all the time on TV, and the list of side effects are worse than the cure or the taking the product itself. It's just like, you know, you get a 15-second commercial about the product and 45 seconds of the hazards that it's going to cause that you need to watch for. What kind of things should I experience in terms of side effects?
Sometimes when you take natural supplements that help to clean the body and cleanse the body, you do have what we call a Herxheimer effect. And that's a cleansing effect. I haven't had anyone tell me that they've experienced that with the mangosteen juice. The whole fruit mangosteen is really effective at restoring nutrients at the cellular level without causing a serious cleansing effect that can make you feel bad. Sometimes you would feel like you have a cold or the flu when in fact that's a good thing, but it still feels bad. But I haven't had anyone tell me they've experienced that. So in terms of side effects, I'm not sure that there have been any that's recorded.
Well, there you have it. Thanks so much for this opportunity, and we just know that we haven't answered all of your questions, but get back with the person that has given you this DVD, and they'll help you find the answer for that if they don't have it themselves. And share it with other people that you know. But most importantly is the fact of what this will do for you. We can't guarantee, obviously, that it's going to do something for everybody or do all of the things that you want it to do. And I think that you'll experience some great things from it. Take the challenge. See what you think. And God bless.
He says, "What have you been doing?" So I told him about the mangosteen juice. So I went back in a year and there were no cancer cells.
And I don't know exactly when it occurred, but I was having problems with arthritis. As we get over that half-century mark, many of us experience that, maybe even earlier for some of you. But I was in pain anytime I would raise my hand above my shoulder, and it just was a real issue. I have no longer that problem at all.
My inside, everything straightened up.